Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jacob coming to you with a new show that I thought might be kind of interesting. I've got a lot of time on my way to work every day, so I figured I would maybe do a show called Daily Commute, where I just talk about random stuff on my way to work. So maybe this will be interesting, maybe it won't be. That's my plan for now. So obviously it can't be a daily commute without coffee or some kind of caffeinated beverage of some sort. I'm not a huge coffee drinker. It's what I've got right now. I do, however, drink a exorbitant amount of caffeine every day, coming from energy drinks like Monster, Red Bull, sodas in general. It's probably why I've gained some weight. I know that you guys don't really know me from when I was thinner back in the day, but there was a point in time where I didn't weigh 230 pounds. I played hockey in high school, and that was like 10 years ago. I'm going to be 26 now. So I was playing hockey between the ages of 15 and like 18. And I was really thin, in really good shape. But now, that's not so much the case. I'm thinking about maybe starting to try going to the gym with my girlfriend. We've got the gym in our apartment complex is really close to our apartment. It's within walking distance and it's 24 hours, so I really don't have any excuse not to go, because I am already paying for it. So anyway, I really don't have an excuse not to go to the gym at this point, since I was so close to my apartment. But excuse me, whether or not I do that or not, I don't actually know. I want to, though. I think it'd probably be good for me. But other than trying to get more fit, I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 3. Now, Dark Souls 3 is my first Dark Souls game, if you don't count Bloodborne. Bloodborne was the first game, from Software that I started playing. And I'm a big PlayStation fan. It's a PlayStation exclusive. The hype around it was huge. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump into Bloodborne. Hopefully that game will be fun. Hopefully I'll like the game. If not, I'll sell it or whatever and we'll be done. Long story short, I fell in love with Bloodborne. Played it until I could get the best ending. I didn't platinum the game because that required 3 or 4 playthroughs, and as I'm sure some of you are aware, Bloodborne and Dark Souls games are very demanding. They're lengthy and they are just demanding. So I didn't have the time nor the willpower to replay that game 3 or 4 times to platinum it. But it was fun. So I played that last year when it first came out, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was my favorite game in 2015, which is saying a lot because I'm a huge Metal Gear fan, and Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. There was a lot of good games in 2015, but Bloodborne's what stuck with me the most every day, or stuck with me the most every day throughout 2015. I'd be playing something else, and Bloodborne would be in the back of my mind how much better or how good Bloodborne was, and how I didn't feel the same way about whatever I was currently playing. So right now, I jumped into Dark Souls 3, and it's my first Dark Souls game, really. I tried to play Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin once it came out, after I finished Bloodborne, but the pacing was so much different, the combat was so slow, and it didn't look very good because I'm coming from Bloodborne, which looks amazing. So Scholar of the First Sin didn't look super great, so I couldn't really get into it. But seeing the trailers for Dark Souls 3, I was like, okay, this looks interesting. I think this could be fun. It looks more like Bloodborne. It's got a similar aesthetic. It looks just as brutal, just as hard, just as fun. So I jumped into Dark Souls 3 and have been playing that. And boy, it is. There's a lot of things that are very similar that I'm noticing are, that Bloodborne took from Dark Souls, and now that Dark Souls is taken from Bloodborne. But the one thing I had to get used to playing Dark Souls is how the combat is a little bit slower. which is, you know, something that I experienced going into Dark Souls 3. The combat isn't, or Dark Souls 2, I should say. The combat isn't quite as slow as what Dark Souls 2 was. It is, but the combat is slower than Bloodborne still, and I'm not used to having to use the shield. One of the things that I had to do a lot in Bloodborne, or I guess that everyone had to do, I was so used to pairing with the pistol or the blunderbuss and then dodging, whereas in being very mobile. Just in Dark Souls 3, I'm trying to get used to using armor, shields, being not as mobile, being able to tank hits. I'm so used to just dodging out of the way of hits. I'm not really used to blocking or taking the hit because my armor is so heavy that I can. I'm just not used to tanking so far. I'm used to being very nimble, jumping around. And so that's something I feel like I'm having to get used to. So I do feel like maybe it is a little harder than what I'm used to, but with Bloodborne, you know, a lot of people said Bloodborne was easier than Dark Souls 3, and maybe that's the case. But I think it's just different, and so the way you have to play is slightly different, and they're not exactly complementary. You can still dodge in Dark Souls 3, but it's nowhere near as effective as in Bloodborne. So that is a lot of fun. I'm going to try and go through and beat that, and maybe start bringing Let's Plays. I may start jumping online and doing Let's Plays through YouTube and Twitch, so you guys can watch me you know, fail over and over again until I finally figure out what I'm supposed to do. So there's that. But another thing I've been playing that I've been kind of, when I get frustrated with Dark Souls, or I finally get through a part of Dark Souls I've been stuck on, and I'm stressed out, I'm exasperated, I'm jumping into Ratchet & Clank. Now, Ratchet & Clank is a game that by Insomniac that is kind of a remake / retelling of the first Ratchet & Clank. Coffee break, guys. And I never played any of the original Ratchet & Clanks. I don't know how. I've had a PlayStation 1, you know, PS2, PS3, and now PS4. And I have no idea how I ended up missing every single Ratchet & Clank. I think Ratchet & Clank, if I came out between 2001 and 2003, and that was between me being 11 and 13, and I guess probably kind of growing out of the 3D platformer kind of game. I feel like I was probably more into a little bit darker and more mature things. You know, as between 11 and 13, you think, you know, you're old and you're mature and you know just about everything. So that was kind of what I was doing in that sense. So I think I probably just kind of missed it because of, you know, my age and how I didn't want to be playing that type of game anymore. But jumping into Ratchet & Clank now, I must say that it is a phenomenal game. I'm going to just echo the same sentiments that everyone from IGN to Kinda Funny has had. It is an exceptional game. It is so much fun. I haven't played a 3D platformer in a long time, and it is just phenomenal. It reminds me a lot of Sunset Overdrive with the crazy weapons and the I think there's some, I haven't got to this point yet in the game, but I believe there's some rail grinding at some point. So it's you can definitely see how Ratchet & Clank inspired Insomniac and that DNA bled into Sunset Overdrive, you know, almost 10 years later. So it's a lot of fun. I'll probably continue playing through that. That's one I'll definitely do some Let's Plays with, because it won't be probably frustrating for everyone to watch me fail, because I'm a little bit better at Ratchet & Clank than I am at Dark Souls at this point. I feel like the mechanics are a little easier. Very different type of game. So that's the games that I'm playing right now. What I want to do is today's the 27th, and I want to April 27th, and I want to jump into Sever because it's been getting really good reviews, and I'm a big fan of Dreambox Studios. I really enjoy all their stuff. When I first got my Vita, one of my most favorite games to play was Tales from Space, Blob's Attack. It was a fun game. I really liked the side scrolling. I guess the side scrolling nature of that game difficult, and some of those bosses were just ridiculous. So I'm interested to see what this first-person dungeon crawling Infinity Blade-esque kind of game is going to be like. It should be fun. Looking forward to picking it up here in the next few days and jumping into that. I'm always excited for a reason to jump in and use my Vita. It's not been getting a lot of use lately because I've been playing a lot of stuff on my Xbox and my PlayStation 4. So not a lot of Vita time. Looking forward to moving that up and getting into that. Another game that I played recently, and I played all the way through and I beat, was Quantum Break on the Xbox One. That game was good. I don't think I enjoyed that as much as I expected to going into it. But Quantum Break, it was a competent shooter. It was a lot of fun. But I feel like the pacing was really kind of off in places. I felt like there were long stretches of me just kind of walking around and getting a lot of exposition thrown at me, where I wasn't doing a lot. The gameplay, the time powers, and the shooting and stuff were just so fluid and fun that it was always kind of jarring to me and kind of boring when I was just kind of walking around getting, having exposition spewed at me. The TV show part of it was interesting. I don't think the TV show part was amazing. Granted, it was pretty good for, I guess, the budget that they had. I'm not sure what the budget was on the TV show portion of that game, but it was fun. It felt a little bit disjointed from the gameplay parts, and like the characters that it went over. It wasn't a lot to do with the main character, Jack Joyce, and so that was a little bit weird. But we got to learn a little bit about the auxiliary characters in the game, the people kind of on the sidelines, the people inside the evil corporation Monarch, kind of what they're like and what they're doing and how they feel and all this kind of stuff. But I just didn't think that Quantum Break was anywhere near the pedigree that Alan Wake or Max Payne 1 and 2 were. Now, I was pretty young when Max Payne 1 and 2 first came out, so I didn't get to play those extensively, but I remember them being a lot of fun. The mechanics were very solid. However, I played Alan Wake just like all the way through within like the first couple days that I got it when it came out back in 2010. And that game was just phenomenal. It's one of my favorite games of the 360 generation. And I was really hoping for an Alan Wake 2, which unfortunately we never got, if you don't count Alan Wake's American Nightmare, the downloadable standalone content that came out a little bit later. But Quantum Break, I just feel like it was a little bit half-baked, was it? Maybe could have used, 6 months, 6 months to a year longer, and it would have been just, instead of being the 8 that it would have been a 10. But Remedy's a pretty good, studio. I'm excited to see what they do next. Based on the ending of Quantum Break, I feel there's probably going to be a Quantum Break 2, which I'm fine with. I don't know how people say this when it comes to sequels, but it might be the Assassin's Creed scenario where Assassin's Creed 1 was decent and then Assassin's Creed 2 was just ridiculously good. So it may be something like that with Quantum Break 2. I don't exactly know if that'll be the case, but it is Remedy. They do have a really high pedigree, so that's probably going to be the case. But probably the biggest glaring issue with Quantum Break is that final boss fight. Like, it is just stupid. It's not fun. The mechanics are bad. There's no mid-boss checkpoint. There's a long cutscene in the beginning that you have to manually skip every single time, which isn't cool. So it just feels like this boss fight was maybe one of the first things that they designed, and that happened like during Alan Wake's development. Like, they were like, okay, we've got this idea for this cool game, let's go ahead and do the final boss. And so it's like they missed all the advancements and all the new techniques that the game developers have created over the years for final boss fights, and they did something that's very, antiquated and old. And it's just not fun. The rest of the game is fun. Like I said, it's not amazing, but it's fun. Whereas this final boss fight is just not at all. It's unfair, and like I said, it's just kind of stupid. But other than that, Quantum Break, excited that tonight the Predators are in Game 7. They're trying to defeat the Anaheim Ducks. Hopefully they will not get eliminated in the first round again this year like they did last year, but they're already doing better this year than they did last year in the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to Game 7 tonight. Hopefully we can, the Predators, they can beat the Ducks, and they can go to the second round and play the Sharks, San Jose Sharks. I'll tell you what, the Predators, they're getting handed to them right now when it comes to really tough teams. They're playing, I want to say, the number 4 team in the league with the Ducks, and the San Jose Sharks are right up there as well. And they are both really, really good teams, and teams that historically the Predators have had some trouble with. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, whether or not they're able to continue in the playoffs and hopefully go to their first cup here in 2016 in franchise history. This is the first Game 7 in franchise history, so I'm hoping we can continue that and go all the way to the finals and win the Stanley Cup. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see. So I think, like I said, what I want to start doing is trying to do Let's Plays that I'll stream. I believe you can stream from the PlayStation straight to YouTube. I believe YouTube has you can live stream on YouTube. I know you can live stream on YouTube, and I think you can do it straight from the Xbox and the PlayStation, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, want to start bringing video reviews to the channel. As I said, I work a full-time job, so I'm kind of doing this in my spare time, so I don't know how many I'll be able to do because I don't have a ton of time every day to play. But once I finish something up, so it probably won't be like as soon as the game comes out, but maybe a couple weeks to a month after a game comes out, I'll drop a video review for a game. My only thing is I don't have a capture kit. I've got to figure out how to take my gameplay recordings from either the PlayStation or the Xbox One and take them to my iPad for editing. I think though, if I'm not mistaken, that Pinnacle Studio for the iPad, Pinnacle Studio Pro, I can actually take gameplay content, upload it to OneDrive, and then download that from OneDrive to Pinnacle. I should say from the Xbox to OneDrive down to Pinnacle Studio, which means that I'm generally, this generation, I've been a pretty much forward-facing PlayStation player. I'm playing pretty much all the multi-platforms on PlayStation, and I've been kind of jumping to Xbox for things like Quantum Break or the exclusive Halo and the Gears when that comes out, which is different than what it was last generation. I jumped from, my Xbox 360 was my primary, and my PlayStation 3 was for exclusives. So I'm going to try and figure out how to do the video reviews without taking video that other people have recorded, because I don't really think that's very cool. And I have a feeling you guys probably don't think that's really cool either. So anyway, one of the things that I also want to do is maybe trying to continue doing like the videos that I've done over the past couple days, unboxings, reviews, things of that nature. I'm going to bring an iPad review here in the next couple weeks once I've really got to delve deep with the iPad Pro, and I will probably do the same with the new tech that I get in the future, like maybe the PlayStation, excuse me, the PlayStation VR when that comes out later this year. Once the PlayStation VR comes out, you should be getting some more content when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm a little confused at how you would capture that, which I think a lot of outlets are having trouble with, and they've got a lot more equipment than I do to capture. So I want to bring you guys content at a fairly regular pace. A couple videos a week. So this is a show that I decided to do called, I think I'm going to call it Daily Commute. I'm not entirely sure yet, but like I said, I've got a 30-minute drive to work, so I figured I could, I don't know, use that time to film a video I can get practice in filming and editing and trying to talk, have something interesting to say on camera and all that kind of stuff. Because I think this is an interesting thing, and I so far I've enjoyed doing it. I really enjoy filming, and then I'm really enjoying the editing process in the end. It's a lot of fun. I take in just raw footage and cutting it together into something that's cohesive and entertaining. And maybe it's entertaining to me. Maybe the videos aren't entertaining to everyone else, but hopefully they are. And if you guys, hopefully people keep watching, and maybe I'll share it around, and I can continue doing this, and maybe get paid to do it one day. But like I've said before, that's not what this is about. It's not about getting paid. It's about enjoying to do it. But hey, getting paid to excuse me, getting paid to do something that you enjoyed is always pretty cool. So, but anyway, so over the next couple weeks, expect the iPad Pro review. I think I'm going to do a review on the Lunatic Epic case for the Apple Watch, because I got one of those, the Lunatic Epic aluminum, black aluminum with the brown leather band. It's a pretty cool. It is a pretty cool little watch band. I have a few complaints, things that maybe I would change a little bit, but I've already been using this for, I don't know, maybe a month now. So I feel like I've got the ability to go through ahead and review that. I've got the use case. I've used it enough that I feel confident that I can render a verdict on whether or not it's something that maybe you should pick up if you've got an Apple Watch. And it is only for the 42 millimeter, so if you've got a 38, you're a little bit out of luck, but it is a pretty cool case. I like it. And like I said, a few complaints, but I'll get into that a little bit more in the review that I probably will drop here in the next couple of days once I have a little bit more time. But anyway, I'm about to pull into work, so I really don't have much more to say today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please continue coming to the channel, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Help me make more content for you, because it's fun. I enjoy doing it. I want someone to watch it. That'd be cool for everybody to watch. So anyway, this is Jacob. I will see you guys in the next video.